Really cool how this came out of nowhere. John Carmack, who was famously with id Software responsible for really a lot of, you could say, the genesis of popularizing PC gaming in the 90s. Wolfenstein 3D, Doom,
Keen,
which we'll get to.
Yeah.
So we're talking about a lot of these sort of heavy hitters. If you can count Commander Keen as a heavy hitter in the PC.
It was at the time.
Yes, I'm relatively, but in that world, yes. So, id Software found, I guess they found it, or it had it, didn't release it. They put together a demo of Super Mario Brothers 3 running on a PC.
Well, this story, and I just want to interject here, this story has never been secret. It's the fact that no one's ever seen the demo in action.
So what this video is basically, this video, I wish there was more. It's about a 6-minute video. It starts with the overworld of Super Mario 3. Looks pretty damn good for being on a PC.
Yeah.
If you know anything about PC and graphics and capabilities, which we'll get into, this is mind-blowing for the time,
yes,
what they were doing. So Mario moves around the map. They recreated only the first level pretty accurately to how it is in the actual NES game. To show it off, you have Goombas, you have Koopas, you have mushrooms, you have the raccoon.
You can even fly.
You can fly awkwardly, though. It's not run. They didn't figure out how to make Mario run, then jump and fly.
Right.
But it seemed like if you could get the leaf, get the tail, you can then jump and keep floating up.
Yeah.
That's how they had it. Again, this is a demo, but a pretty damn impressive demo. But the look of the game, it looks pretty good. It looks almost like a hack of a Mario game, like that Samario game, where it's like a combination of Mario and Sonic. Yeah. That's kind of like how Mario looks. He's like a little bit off. But it's, for the most part, this is pretty accurate. Again, this is a demo. And they go up to the castle, and then they don't have, obviously there's capabilities they couldn't do, they couldn't have, the flashing star coming out of the white box and go up to the screen. You just get it, it ends the level.
Yep.
That's fine. Again, it's a demo. So the story was they showed this to Nintendo, just saying, hey, if we can this is what we could do if you put it out on a PC. And Nintendo said, thanks, but no thanks, which is fine. But what they figured out from this technology, because supposedly id Software had to create the screen scrolling technology just to do this demo.
Yeah, I don't believe that scrolling like this had really been ever seen. I mean,
no,
because I remember. Okay, so to jump ahead a little bit, this technology ended up turning into Commander Keen, and Commander Keen was for a person who was playing games on the computer at the time who did not have an NES. This was something that you were waiting for forever. Was to get a scrolling platformer yep, game that played like something you would see on the Nintendo with that sort of quality. Yeah,
I think for people that weren't gaming in the 80s, I on an IBM PC, Ian on the Apple II.
I have IBM PC too.
But gaming was entirely different versus arcades, consoles, and on computers. There were 3 entirely different worlds. And on a computer, you were mostly 99% of the time dealing with single-screen experience games, whether it was an RPG, a dungeon crawler where you advance, whether it was a port of a game show like Wheel of Fortune where one static screen, whether it was a port of an arcade game like Space Invaders, one static screen. You did not see games.
Even your expansive games like like your adventure games, your LucasArts stuff, they were single screen, static screens that just linked together into a larger map. There was no scroll. There was it was just picture after picture after picture.
Sierra games.
Yeah.
One single screens at a time, which was fine. But it was there was this disconnect saying platformers do not exist here. Right. The same way on a console, you didn't see Sierra adventure games, type of adventure games don't exist on consoles. That's just the way the breakup worked out. So able to do that, you then opened up, obviously, to me, that was a big step to getting kids gaming more on computers, because computer games in the 80s were not marketed towards kids. By and large, you had your RPGs, and you had your simulations and adventure games. 3 genres that are not you can't have 4-year-olds play that. I know I tried with F-15 Strike Eagle and succeeded somewhat, but you really had to try. So the technology was so important here to establish that we can do Commander Keen, we can do those early Duke Nukem games that were side-scrolling running gunners. That was very important to sort of bridge that gap. In order, not saying you still had mostly platformers on consoles by and large, but to be able to do that, to sort of bring that world somewhat together, I think is very, very cool. And to see it, to basically see the evidence firsthand and where it actually started is really impressive.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.